This is Andy Nathan, and today we're going to talk about how to find your USP. Last night, when we were in the Business Power Hour, which I said I'd do a blog post on whatever questions people have, and Rudy Graham asked about this. So if you want to learn more about Rudy, you can check the link underneath. Before we get started, people have to know, what is a USP? USP is actually unique selling or service, depending upon what people use, proposition. It's basically how you differentiate yourself from your customers. So how does it work? There's three things that you need to do to figure out your unique selling proposition or service proposition, whichever one you want to call it. I'm just going to call it USP for short from now on. First thing is this. You have to understand, what is your target market? Who are you looking to talk to? A lot of people will come in and they'll say, well, my answer is everyone. And my response to that is, oh boy, we're in trouble. Because the problem is, if your market is everyone, you're probably not going to sell anything. And I know that sounds harsh. Most people who want to target everyone just simply don't have that reach. What they really mean is, I would like to target small business owners. I would like to target internet marketers, real estate agents. Whoever you're looking to target, you have to define exactly who they are. So to help you with that, I'm going to show you who my target market is. Now, when I work with clients, I help them out with their online marketing, specifically social media, blogging, SEO, and just content generation. A lot of the work that I do is based around content and connections. And what I do is I help them out with their lead generation. Well, who needs this? Small to medium-sized business owners. Generally, I define that as people who are just starting out, those entrepreneurs, those growing businesses. A lot of business owners are there and they just don't do anything. They sort of just exist. I want people who want to grow their business. So that's one thing that I need to know. I need people who want to actually grow their business. That helps me target my market a little bit farther. But just because they want to grow doesn't mean they have the budget to actually do that. A lot of times they're coming to me because they're finally at a point where they can expand their marketing budget a little bit, or they need to replace another form of marketing that isn't working. I have a client who's doing Yellow Page ads, and he's been using it for a long time. It doesn't work anymore for him like it used to, so he wants to replace that. They're also stressed out. A lot of business owners, you run around, you do 100 million things at once. I know myself personally, I have so much stuff on my plate that sometimes it gets overwhelming, and you just need to just like say, hey, wait, stop. I can't do it all. And that's exactly what is happening here. You cannot do it all. Additionally, a lot of the people I work with, they're technologically challenged. That doesn't mean that they're like not smart people. Some of them are absolutely brilliant, but all of a sudden they get on a computer and they don't understand how to open a new tab onto a website. Now, that's not all of them, but some of the cases I see that they're technologically challenged. Additionally, a lot of the clients that I work with are Gen X and baby boomers. Why? Because they're more stable. They're starting to really own their business and starting to get into it. They've owned it for a few years. A lot of the Gen Ys, they're just starting to develop their business, and some of them do want to get in and they want to learn, but they're not really needing other people to do the stuff that Gen X and baby boomers need to do, because they don't have the energy to do 100 million things like a Gen Y or Gen will do. This is my favorite line. This is how I know I have a good client. And it goes, there's different variations of this, but it goes something along the lines of, my cousin's brother's uncle's aunt's sister's nephew told me that I really need to use social media, that it's really important for me to get into the new age. They don't understand what it is, but they know it's important. I know that's a good client because those are my ideal clients. So my target market is actually the people who say words like that. I even know the words that they use. That's my point. Know the words that your clients are going to use so you know how to spot them a little bit easier. Next, how do you help this target market? We now know who the target market is. How do we help them? Well, here's how I do it. I think about my clients from their perspective. They're stressed out, so I want to make sure I'm making their lives a lot easier. Well, how do I do that? Well, some of them I feel like I'm a social media psychologist. I feel like, okay, relax, calm down. This is how we do it. It's sort of explaining it, just going through step by step with them so they understand exactly what's happening. The next part is, I want to help them from stopping having to micromanage this area of their business. A lot of the small business owners and entrepreneurs that I work with, they will do it better than anybody else. You know, it's your business. When it's your business, you will always do things better than everybody else. However, the problem is that they don't have time to do every single part of their business anymore. So they need somebody to do the work. I will do an awesome job. That being said, at the end of the day, I don't know every single little piece of information about a client. They're starting to micromanage in themselves, and they just want, but they tell me they're stressed out and they don't have time for all this. You know, when I talk to a client, that this is how I help them. I help them from stop having to micromanage every single area of their life. Third thing is, what makes your service unique? You stand out. I live in Chicago. And in Chicago, here's what I generally notice when I talk to other social media consultants. What they strive to do is they want to help them with their social media profile setup, and they want to do coaching to help them understand exactly how to use social media, which is great. That's fine. Coaching and profile setup are two very important things to help people out. The additional thing here is that a lot of them want to work with the larger businesses. They want to work with the Fords. They want to work with the Abbott Labs. They want to work with the companies who have the multi-million-dollar budgets, which I'm not opposed to that. If Abbott Labs is listening, I'm always open to open contracts. That's fine. I'm here for you guys. The difference is that when I work with small businesses, a lot of them don't have the ability to afford that $1,000 per month for 1 year. They have a certain budget, but they don't have the full-out budget that the larger companies will have. And so what I do is I offer bite-sized services. That's actually how I stand out. Instead of having to help someone just set up their profiles and then be done, I could set up their profile, or if someone has their profile set up, I could help them build contacts. If someone has contacts, you know what? Then maybe I could help them with in monetizing those contacts. A lot of what I do is I help them with lead generation. So when I'm working with clients, I'm helping them stand out so they don't have to sit there and wonder, hey, wait, are you just going to coach me through it, or are you actually going to do it for me? And that's a very common question that I get. And I actually will do the work for them. Stand out. Find a way that you can be different than everybody else. Even though there's a lot of social media consultants in the area, I'm one of the very few who actually does the work, and it will actually do it for small business owners, which gives me a very unique advantage when I work with small business owners in this area, because I don't have a lot of competition. So I take out a lot of the competition because of the fact that I actually have a very strong USP. I cannot stand contracts because, you know, contracts means that you don't really have faith in your services and you just want hook, line, and sinker people in. And if people don't like it, they're still going to quit. And then you're just going to have to sue them, and it's going to be a huge mess. Then you're going to lose business because people are going to hear about the fact that you sue your clients. It's just not pretty. So that's pretty much it. I mean, a lot about it is just having those three things. Standing out. Making sure that you could actually know how you niche and how you help your clients, and just having a target market. So this is Andy Nathan with AndyNathan.net. I hope you understand. I hope you enjoy how to actually set up a USP.